We're back, boys. We got another one between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Boston Bruins. This one is semi-big. I consider it big, not blockbuster, but pretty good. Tampa Bay Lightning trades Brett Connolly to the Boston Bruins in return for a second-round pick in 2015 and a second-round pick in 2016. All right, so Brett Connolly straight up for 2 second-round picks. Very interesting deal right here. And we'll talk about it from the Boston Bruins perspective. There's going to be a lot of Boston Bruin fans out there that don't like this, but I feel like this is a desperation trade, in my opinion. This is a trade based out of desperation because Boston right now is struggling to make it into the playoffs. You know, I think if you guys were in a much better position right now, maybe it's not Brett Connolly, maybe it's a veteran, right? But you go out there and you get a young player because you need offense, you need wingers. With a record of 3-5-2 in your last 10 games and Florida only 2 points behind you, you know, something has to happen. Chiarelli's job is on the line, right? So something has to happen here. And you know, Boston is 21st for goals this year, and their wingers, they just ain't getting it done. Guys like Erickson, who's only got 14 goals, you know, I'm sure you guys are still wishing you had Tyler Seguin there. Riley Smith only has 12 goals. Still plenty of upside for that guy. Milan Lucic only has 13 goals. I believe, I could be wrong, I didn't check this fact, but I remember Lucic had a 30-goal season at one point, and it might have been in the year that they won the Stanley Cup. Only 13 at this point of the season for Milan Lucic. That's low, man. All right, Brad Marchand, he's up there, fine, but Brad Marchand's not supposed to be your leading goal scorer as a winger, right? So Brett Connolly, bringing him in is an offensive move for now and the future. So it's kind of like it's open-ended, you know what I mean? If, say, he brings him in this year and he doesn't play that well, the guy is still a 6th overall pick from 2010, right? So there's still some building to do there, and he has done well in the AHL team for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but so far in the NHL, he's yet to be able to find a spot and really make a mark in the NHL, right? So that's why I think it's a desperation trade for Boston, man. This could be hit or miss, and they know what they're giving up. 2 second-round picks. I mean, geez, that's not nothing, you know what I mean? So interesting one from the Boston Bruins perspective. And the Tampa Bay Lightning, you know, earlier today they gave up a 1st and a 3rd from 2015 for Braden Coburn, right? So this trade gets them 2 picks right back, and in my opinion, that's what this trade was about, I think anyways, replacing those 2 lost picks, because Tampa is still fine offensively. Trading away a guy like Brett Connolly doesn't affect their roster whatsoever. Their offense is still just fine offensively, and for the future, you know, now and for the future, guys like Stamkos, Johnson, Kucherov, Palat, Jonathan Drouin, Callahan, Filppula, even Callahan and Filppula, they're even part of the future for this team, right? So Connolly just didn't fit in. So, you know, for a guy who's pretty high-profile guy, 6th overall pick in 2010, before his trade value starts to drop, to be able to get 2 second-round picks right back for him and not affect your roster, while earlier on in the day trading away a 1st and a 3rd to upgrade your D. You know, a lot of people are saying that that trade for Coburn didn't make sense, but if you get 2 seconds back, you know, it's not that bad anymore, is it? I mean, they got plenty of young players there in Tampa Bay. Why not try to do something? You don't want to get swept out in the 1st round again, right? So I got to say Tampa Bay wins this trade, absolutely. It could end up being that Connolly is a fantastic winger and he fits in on Boston with guys like Patrice Bergeron. David Krejci could have a bounce-back year or start to turn it on in the playoffs, right? So I'm not saying it's a bad trade for Boston. I just feel it's an unknown desperation trade because Brett Connolly could end up being nothing, and we know what the 2 second-round picks, we don't know what they're going to be, right? But we know what kind of value you get for them. And Brett Connolly is just kind of this big question mark, right? So I know he's done good in the AHL, but still, he has to develop in the NHL. He has to put together a good season for me to change my mind about that. You can be as good as you want to be in the minors in the AHL, but until you prove it in the NHL, it's all just potential talk, all right? So I think Tampa Bay wins this trade. They know what they're getting. They're getting 2 second-round picks to replace the 2 picks that they sent out. And the Boston Bruins, desperation trade, man. They could still miss the playoffs and then have Brett Connolly, which helps them for the future, yes, but I think it's a desperation trade. I really do. So let me know what you guys think. Boston Bruin fans, what do you think about this trade? And I will see you guys in the next one.